welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining me if you are, depending on if you're joining me now or later. I'm not sure if you're time traveling or not. I'm going to do my best to keep my voice and my excitement and my energy level low because I try and tell myself it's probably solar flares. It's probably just the stress of the new year pushing over. The astrology right now is real. And so, again, some of these major movements of the collective consciousness, the aurora borealis, the ionosphere kind of, popping in and out of some major stuff and solar flares and Wi-Fi and just my kids are sleeping and we're going on like 14 hours straight where they're just waking up to use the restroom and have some raspberries and get some water and go back to sleep, which means I can't be as productive as I want on my Sunday cleaning. But I'm going to stay positive that, there's nothing going on other than just that level of exhaustion that is very real. So yesterday was some huge shifts. It's one of the reasons that I'm wearing this necklace. And tonight, you guys, I hope that you will join me. I'm going to be going live this evening to do basically like a purge of some of my things as we prep for the moon movements, where I've got some jewelry pieces, some spell boxes, and some really cool stuff that I'm going to be offering out because I need to clean out all of this stuff behind me as I ready for some cool things and events happening in 2022 and kind of thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I gift? What can I give? What can I sell? What can I, work on to make space for that stuff that I need to do physically, emotionally, mentally, and all of that. So you're hearing my phone just go crazy. I've got people texting me. I'm on call as well for people that are in crisis. And we've just got a lot of stuff happening politically. And again, this exhaustion, this deep level of depression, some major stuff happening in American politics with workers. Um, Mandates, things of that nature. And I know for me personally, you guys know, and for those of you asking about my dad, um, the Midwest transplant stuff as of 2 days ago was put on hold. It's kind of a political stronghold, if you will. So for those people like my dad waiting to get an organ, the time for you is paused. But like my dad is 69, and so you're removed from that list at 70. So preferably we can unpause this soon. And that's kind of stressful, right? So in that, I think about, gosh, this is all a collective. This is both micro and macro. It's a lot of transformation. And with that, a lot of people reaching out for major life change. What should I do? What should I do with this? What should I do with that? How can I use this energy? 2022 really moving its head at us. So today the astrology is unique and I want to share it with you and kind of how I have suggested those in my online coven and gypsy tribe to use this. Now, whether or not you are Christian, you use scripture, whether or not you are a business person, you utilize the algorithm, whether or not you're a psychologist working in social services or law enforcement, military, protecting groups of people, taking orders from a power dynamic. All of these things are very relative to divination, where you find your information, where you gather and connect to the divine. I love for my cards and symbolism in and around my life to give me meaning. And so if it doesn't give me meaning right away, I establish meaning to it by what I do. And it's a siphon. And it really is a siphon of alchemy for those who mentor with me, work with me. And we are doing stuff, whether it's, Masonic, Hermetic magic, or things like that, or just basic chemistry, just basic engineering, just basic talking about cool shit or karaoke even or people watching. There's so many cool correlations between how energy moves that you can pick what you want. Pick what you want. So I like whenever I'm working with like students and you get to see what they choose for like a project or what's your favorite animal? What are you going to do your your report on. A lot of times people have the same or similar things that they always do, that they gravitate towards. What is that about? What's in your altar space? I was sharing some of my very private altar spaces this morning as I did a meditation with my group of people that joined me for that shit. Ooh, cards are just popping out all over the place. It's probably because I've had a lot of coffee and not enough pandas. I don't actually eat pandas. Would I eat panda if it wasn't like if it wasn't endangered? I think they're still endangered. Pretty sure they are. I would eat bear. So why wouldn't I eat panda? I guess I would. But you guys saw me last week eating chocolate covered bugs and stuff, so that's kind of a thing. Anyway, if you're into junk food, which by the way, there's only certain junk food that I like. You can be a coffee snob like me and have really good coffee and then eat it with Hello Pandas. These are the chocolate kind. And it's kind of like doing divination with your food because then you're like, what should I do today? What's this little panda doing? Oh, snap. This isn't good advice. Maybe we should slow down. He's playing hockey. If I went outside today, my skin would freeze off after 11 minutes. I know some people are into that, but I am not. Sorry if you have misophonia. That feeling that your skin's crawling when you hear people chew. Who would like a card? No, let's not do cards yet. Let's do astrology first. For those people that don't want to do tarot and think that that's weird. Which, by the way, it is, but it's a weird, good weird. Let's do the astrology first. Let's. So, preferably, you joined us last Tuesday. Every Tuesday on Astrology and Alchemy. It's on the Paranormal channel. It's on the Paranormal Sarah channel. It's on Autumn Moon Astrology channel. It's Why Seta. It's everywhere. It's not everywhere, but it's in a lot of different places. So you should join us on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Central. We talk about the week, the astrology for it, and what we discussed. Today is the first quarter moon in Aries. What? That's right. It's the 9th. We're going to be having this huge 111-02022. What? It's 111222. It's a gateway portal. The star seeds will be coming through and Nibiru will finally be seen. No, it's not. It's holograms of Nephilim walking through the streets of Japan. No, it's not. It's the... Slow your roll. Slow down. Who knows what will happen? Take it one day at a time. And today, the moon is moving in Aries. This is a time for action, time for taking initiative, doing what you want to achieve, making use of the excitement, making use of the measuring up, pushing through, going for it, right? Last week we talked about the neurolinguistic programming of the word amend. If you didn't take my advice, listen to your mother, listen to your father. Take this advice, amend those goals for this year. Take a look at those resolutions. Look at them. And like we said, the secret to amending is write it down. Write it down. Write it down. I'll show you what I like. And this is like a thing because if you're like me and you actually spend the money to buy it, leather bound, tastes good, smells good, looks good, feels good. This is a book that I can carry with me, that if I happen to flail out on the floor and die, and this is the last book on me, people will be like, wow, what's in that book? And then I will have cursed it so no one will ever really be able to know. Well, what is in this book is just my thoughts, my day, my calendar, my schedule, numbers, because I'm always, if the lights go out, what happens? Or if you need that last phone call and you don't have your cell phone on you, gotta know it. So anyway, amend it. The secret is manifesting things is writing it down first. How has the Bible lived this long? How have the stories been told for so long? They wrote it down in a scroll, kept it in a Coptic sea scroll in the basement of the Vatican. No, they didn't. Yes, they did. Maybe they didn't. Who knows? I mean, they took some out. They kept some. They moved some around. But some of them have stayed. The ones that stay are the ones that get written down, usually. It keeps its integrity through time and space. Keeping integrity of an intention and decision through time and space. Captain's log. Holy shit. They knew something we didn't. Now we do. So there's no reason not to do it. Take time today. Write it down. Write down a piece of toilet paper on the back of a paper plate. It doesn't matter. So long as you write it down. Write it down in the comments right now if you're joining me. Write it down. Write it down. Meta says, I love the smell of leather. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Elderberry. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Rachel. I hope you guys are doing good. So that Aries, what does that mean? So you guys, we talked about the moon. The moon is that internal tide, the highs and lows of how we feel. It's your menstrual cycle. It's your sperm cycle. It's your swallowing. It's your, it's the movement, not just a bowel movement. It's a movement. It's a movement. And the moon, moving with all organic things, right? The moon as a tidal wave, this moon is in Aries. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That's like a Timbaland song. This like breaks you into like 90s hip hop. Missy Elliott. This is Aries. If you know an Aries, fire. Mess with the bull, you'll get the horns. Well, this is the horns. This is that go for it. This is that push, and people are going to go for it. People are going to do it. They've been thinking about calling you. They're going to call you. If they thinking about, you know what? They're going to do it. They're going to do it. Don't push it. They're going to do it. Don't push it today. Don't play those games today. Don't do it. Daddy's going to answer that call today. Don't do it. At least don't write it down if you don't want it to happen. Wait a minute. You're telling me that if I write something down and ask for it, that it's going to likely happen? Do you know how to use fire? Because if you do, if you know how to make fire, spread fire, give fire, share fire, use fire, this is the day to do that in ritual. This is the day to think about that. This is today for sure to where there's smoke, there is fire. So follow that energy and be aware of how to use it. It's very important. If you want someone to take advice, if you want someone to read that message, if you need an important thing to be said and delivered, write it down. It's very, very easy. Write yourself a check for $1 million. Do a spell. That's why tonight. You mean tonight I'm doing spells for people and actually writing things down? But it's for other people. It's for me. But it's for them. It's also for me. But why? Because I'm writing it down and telling it to the universe too. But what if they ask for a spell to kill someone? I don't do every spell I get. I get to choose. This is very powerful. So tonight when you join me later, later tonight when I go live doing my spell work and kind of showing you some of my jars that I have available, you'll see what I mean. But that is Aries energy, and that is today. Moving into tonight, where the moon will still be in Aries, but it's going to be sextile to Saturn. Saturn in Aquarius. In Aquarius. Aquarius. That's COVID stuff. It has been. It's been mandate stuff. On a Sunday? I know. If we've watched how the patterns have moved throughout the news in the last 3 or 4 years, we've really seen it. But it's going to be clarity on where you should go, where your responsibility truly lies. True, like, oh shit, this matters, this doesn't. This is going to really start emerging. So rearrange, switch it, change it, rearrange it, scratch that, reverse it. Move the targets. Moving targets get hit less. Why would I want to move my targets if I want to hit what? The impulse to change it up, switch it, move it around. This is an impulse. That moon in Aries. And Saturn, the ring, the planet of rings, the middle, this like DMV of the galaxy, in Aquarius, which is emotional air. Oh, yeah? Well, let me tell you something. That's Aquarius. Aquarius is going to question what you know. That's air. They're going to criticize. Air is turbulent, but air is about, Ooh, come little children, I'll take thee away. This is Aquarius. This is a spell. This is invocation. You mean this is about the writing things down like double time because it's fire? This would be true. Aquarius is about rings. Saturn and maybe throwing something out of that loop or expanding that loop when you see Doctor Strange doing things and putting things together in a circle, this loop, this cycle, this siphon, indeed the donut of our universe, our galaxy, opening up time and space to align and change things. You have to have a lot of energy, but you have to have focus. So you have to know how to and when you can walk away from that fire and use it accordingly. Targets are important to have, and honing your skills is important to do. So not to just finish, not to just stop the cycle, but hone the cycle, hone the pace, hone how you are doing your alchemy. So in ritual work, this is how do you use earth magic. What? Earth magic? Well, why? Because overwhelmingly in the galaxy right now, a lot of our big planets, a lot of our big energy is in Capricorn. So there's a lot of how do you use that fire into earth, ash into compost, shit into fertilizer, fire, oh shit, that's divorce into earth magic, a new home, a new foundation. Okay, now I have the time. Now I have every other weekend to plan this. Now I have this to pause, to wait, silence, air, cold, negative 45 degrees. I ain't going out in that. So what can I do? I can sit. I can leave things behind and say, are you sure? Yeah, I am sure. This is how we use that constructive criticism. Air. Make sure this is so important. Make sure that you are comfortable with the people giving you information, where your information is coming from. And then Curtis, Kayla, Ken, Katie, hey. And then that earth energy is, I mean, if you're a Mason, if you're a Christian, if you're a Wiccan, if you're a pagan, if you're a Thelemic, I don't care what you are. Your earth energy is your Matthew, book of Matthew. This is your gospel of sit in silence. This is Buddha um, sitting under the tree for 40 days and 40 nights with starvation and celibacy. This is the crucifixion of just being out and alone. This is the Viking adventure out into the open. This is the Spartan space for young boys to go out and gather maturity through lessons. How you apply those lessons, how you learn and extract lessons from the destruction and chaos around you by being thrust into it or choosing when to jump into it or kind of, you know, again, managing that just ever so slightly. You can't control it, but you can regulate it. So learning how you regulate it and also learning how the universe is subtly regulating it is going to be really, really helpful. At least it is for me and all of my clients, patients, and people that I work with. And so whomever you are and however you have found me, whether it's through forensic psych or wherever, doesn't matter. You're here now. If you have any questions about where else you can go to find me, you can do that at Paranormal Sarah. But that's the astrology for today. So you guys, let's pull some cards. I'm just going to pull right from the top. I'm going to eat a Hello Panda while you guys get situated. This is a moment. Thank you, Madame Lenormand, and every person before that has always said, have a moment of intention before you pull a card. Don't just be like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be. No. That's when people go, what do you think about using a Ouija board? Why are you using it? What do you think about using a vibrator? Why are you using it? What do I think about you killing people? Why are you doing it? I work in forensics. I work in ethics. Guys, you ain't going to scare me. I work on the paranormal. End of life. Death. Ain't going to scare me. I birthed 2 babies. Natural. Out of my vagina. Daughter of Connie Harmon. You ain't going to scare me. And if you do, I hope to use it. You have to know what you're asking. So think about what question you're asking, and then let's pull a question. Jacqueline. Speak of the goddamn devil. Damn. Holy cow balls. Did I just summon one of my midwives out of the middle of the ether? I cannot believe it. I think I did. here. Look up here. I love it. Look at that. I love it. That like is truly surprising to me. No, it's not. Women are powerful creatures. I know, but look at that. That is so cool. So badass. Anyway, Terry. Okay, you would like a card. Okay, here we go. Terry wants a card. You have to give me permission. It's like a vampire. Sure, give me a reading. I don't do readings like that. Terry. Terry, what you got going on? Okay, so Terry, this is the Five of Cups. Look at her. Man, 3 of those damn cups are broken on the floor. Crashed. They're just busted. That's sad. But look, she's beautiful. She's got these 2 cups. How many cups do you need? Ooh. Cups. Asking you to respond to your feelings, which, by the way, Harvard claims are emotional synaptic neurotransmitters dependent upon a stimulus. Our feelings only last 90 seconds. Everything else, oh, you're sad about that tomorrow, is your choice to be. Ugh. It's rough to say that. But man, if that's true, why do we keep ourselves feeling something? There is reason for that. Why are we sad? You still have one in each hand. You still have a cup to drink from. Man, if you're on a loan, you only need 1 pot to boil water. You're going to be fine. What do you need? 5 is that cliche, half full, half empty. It is dependent upon how you look at it. It is dependent upon what you need, what you want, how you feel, what it is. So, reevaluate, shift that perspective, and also know that feelings, like all things, change. So, use it in the now. Shift that momentum as you can. Okay, Terry? Kayla says, man, I want a card. Okay, Kayla, who's doing yoga now, I believe, in town, which I got to do. I don't know if you want me doing yoga in person. It's real hard for me to be quiet, as I'm sure you can imagine. Kayla. So if you guys have joined me before with this deck, you know this is one of those cards that is the reason that I got this deck. And I got this feeling when I held this deck that I said, oh, hell no, I ain't paying that on a tarot deck. I like it, but I'm not spending that kind of money. And then the person said, what if I give you 15% off? And then I felt obligated, which I never want to buy a spiritual item when I'm obligated. So then I thought, if I can find 7 cards in this deck that I like, I'll buy it. I'll be damned if the first 7 cards weren't all spirit animals for me. Spirit guide animals, Kayla. It was one of those moments where you had to be like, dang, okay. And that is an important story, and it's relevant because this is the Ace of Coins. So the Ace of Coins is a lot of foliage. This is an earth card. Look at that bumblebee, emeralds, peridot. We got acorns. We got buckeyes. Look at that little hedgie. There he is. That's a little pygmy hedgehog. And this is the Ace of Coins. So this is the beginning, the spark of earth. That's what I was just talking about earlier. This is what I'm talking about. This is where you're taking chaos and moving it, hi Doug, into a new space. How can I use this? Oh my God, I just had an epiphany. I had an Oprah moment, an aha moment. Take on me, take on me. This is a thing. This is a using resources. This is being able to survive. This is finance, reinvestment, thought, mustard seeds, quiet, burying something and being aware of how you're going to nourish it, which you know how to do. So it's very cool. Kara. As I say it, I feel like it's Kara, but it's probably Kara. 7 of Coins. So also pentacles or diamonds. This is, man, look at her. She's out there in her wheat field and she is like, I'll be damned if I don't have enough of these coins to put in my basket. And the wheat's like, yep, you sure do. And here's the deal. You can't. She's like, well, I don't know if I should pick them yet. And the wind's like, maybe you should, maybe you she's like, well, if I do, then I got to pick them all. You can't just pick some of them. One bad apple will ruin the bunch. So if you pluck an apple and then keep it and then do half the later, I mean, you just got to be aware of what you're doing. You know what I mean? You got to know when to pluck them. God, have you ever, and this happens to me every year. I really struggle with this. I have this beautiful raspberry patch and I go out there every day. Every day I go out there and I'm like, oh, they're still green. Go out at sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. They're kind of green. They're purple. Oop, they're getting purple. Ooh, they're dark purple. Ooh. And then right as they are ready, it's like all the birds and it's like all the things that exist and need this knowledge to survive know when to pluck it. Those fuckers get there before me, moments before me. It's like they know. They know. Do you know? This is a gamble of knowledge. 7 of Earth. Do I stay or do I go now? But there could be double. Ooh, there could be double. Sheba getting smashed on the 26th. Maybe we should buy now. I don't know. This card was for Jacqueline. Let me just make sure. Jacqueline, I'm pretty sure you were after Kara. Kara says, I'd like a card. That was for her. Jacqueline said, lay one on, Miss Sister. I need some guidance. Hello, Field. Hello, Doug. Jacqueline, this is for you. This is exhaustion of spirit. This is exhaustion of intuitive emotional energy. This is going, I've had enough, and enough is all I've. This is the she-devil energy with Roseanne when she reignites something into a business. Lemons, that breakup scene and the breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn, the 9 of Cups. It's also fruitful, keep in mind. Feminine water energy that is almost to its meniscus, almost to full potential, and you go, do you need to leave a little space for cream? This would be that moment to evaluate how much you can carry, how much you can take with you, how much before you go into air are you willing to have as a momental? That's not a word. Momentuary? Ugh. Damn, being bilingual is really messing with my mind. Could also be the coffee creamer. It's bad for my brain. Momentuous. Helping you determine how quick and at what rate the water movement is going. What am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say. Coconuts, lemons, liquid, water, sweet, sour. Ugh, have you ever had a bad coconut? That's the worst. You got to know. There's peaches. There's mint. This is like a mimosa on a card. Man, it looks good. It's sweet. How many of these can I have? Really? They greet you like this every morning with these? And then all of a sudden you're like dead by the pool and you can't do anything. And they call that a resort. You got to know the dose. Okay. So just kind of know what's in the water. Don't shit in the punch pool. Don't do that. Meta, what kind of daddy dominatrix stuff you got going on? Invite us over. What's going on? King of Wands. This is like Legolas. King of Wands is masculine dictator of fire. This is Aries. This is today. This is the moon in Aries. Meta, something's happening today. For you especially. Look at the dragons. Walk through the portal. This is like that man in, well, it wasn't really a man. It was androgynous. And it was meant to be because it was a star person coming in the Egyptian story, the Stargate with Goldie Hawn's not husband because they never got married. You know what I'm talking about. Not the show with David, not that, but the movie. Yeah. This is a regeneration. This is a fire, trial by fire. And you're like, bring it on, baby. Because the dictator, the emperor, the king of wands, look at him. He's the one with the scepter. You want to fight this? This is Darth Vader. This is the king. This is the king. If you can't beat him, join him. And once you join them, lead them, ride them, lead them, push them, guide them. Do whatever you got to do. It doesn't matter because you're the king. But there's a process. And the King of Wands knows that process and knows that process well. You're in it right now. So kind of harness the masculine energy and do. This would be like go out running, exercise, expend energy. So be well and guided in your impulsive spaces. Krista. Ooh, the Knight of Coins. This is masculine. The Knight is young, courageous, action. This is our want to do. The energy to want to get out and bravely go when no man has ever gone before. But this is in coins. So this is like, dang, men trying to tell me that there's some glass ceiling, like I can't be a law enforcement officer, like I can't work in forensics. Like, I wish you would tell me that, because guess what? I'm gonna. And tell me that I'm going to make $2 less an hour. I wish you would. I'm going to make $3 more an hour. Because if you give me a rule, I'm going to bend it. I'm going to ask you, why is that there? And if you tell me because I said so, I'm going to say, who are you? And that has gotten me in a lot of trouble up the ladder. But the Knight of Coins, look at it. A wild horse be tamed. This is how to do that, how to invest, when to be bold, when to squeeze, when to jump, when to invest. And you go, not today. Coins is knowing when, and it's also kind of in reference to your finance. So it's kind of nodding, Krista, that there's something that is a lot of money going on and some wild energy about it that might be spontaneous. And there is a reason and an important time to let things be wild and watch it and observe it and measure it, and then use that to understand the patterns of how to use it for investment. Doug, thank you guys. Matt, a card? Yes. Matt, like we didn't know this already. Matt, this is the 10 of Wands. This is, look at it. I'll do it my damn self. This is having to do it yourself. This is struggling. I mean, you're struggling, but you're capable. This is exhausted, but you're exhausted. This is all 10 wands strapped on your back, constructed with fairy wings and glitter gold and unicorn farts so that you can get it done. And it's tiring. But it is also the 10 of Wands. It's right before the seniority in the court, the Jack, the Knight, the Queen, the King of Fire, that this is the top of the mountain. This is effort come to fruition. But like, you're going to be exhausted. So what do you do with that? Do you sleep when you get to the top of Mount Everest and miss the first sunrise when you get to the top? Does it even matter that you see the next one when you get there? Or does it matter that you're rested? Will you think you are delirious if you wake? 10 of Wands is a lot of fire. 2 hands worth of fire. This is two thumbs. This is, double-ended dildo requiem for a dream stuff. This is deep in it, double high five. The 10. It's a lazy man's load of your groceries. And you think, damn, am I going to pull my rotator cuff doing this? Trying to carry in things because it's not that I'm too lazy to go back and forth, because obviously I'm not lazy. I'm carrying it all in one thing. But was that smart? I love the 10 of Wands. I think this is a fascinating space to see what people are going to do next, because it's not that you're not capable. That's never been the question. It's what will you do? Doug said, I thought you said something else. Katie says, I will have a card, but do others first. Man, Katie, well, maybe it is. We can throw other people into the fire first. But no, it's your turn. Katie. The first major arcana card today. And I won't stay on for too much longer because I'm already at a half hour, which is crazy that it goes that fast. But this is the major arcana card. It's perfect for right now. I think people making major life decisions, using this theme, justice. What is fair? What is right? What is wrong? What is good? What is bad? What is up? What is down? The cardinal, the omnipotent, the yin, the yang, the balance, the dose. Well, what are we measuring? What does it matter? The fact that you should know without seeing. When someone says, well, because said so, you should know. What about if you didn't have any books or sites? What if you had to stand up there as the debate team without any resources at all? What if you had to do this on improv? Could you? What do you know? What do you know? What do you know when you're blind? What do you know if you can't hear? What do you know if you've lost all your taste? Because everyone's going to lose it all. And what will you know then? If you don't see this theme right now in a micro and macro way, it is blindness. But blindness can be great too, because you can say, I didn't even have to see it to know it. It's perspective. So, Katie, I hope that finds you all. And a major Arcana card would suggest like a major life theme, which I think that theme is huge right now for everybody in a life transformative space right now because of just the these are the sign of the times, just the generational, references to Dr. Korn, like just the rollover of a depression kind of space, an economic role. Like it's a huge weighing of things happening in the night this weekend, like it's just important. It's relative. So you're on that. And I think you know that you know, but what do you know? And knowing the difference. Nadia, card for you. Nadia's got love all around her, decisions all around her, things happening all around her. You love this, you love that, you like this, you kind of like that, you really like this. But one of the things to remember is in water cups, you've got 2 in front of you and you're thinking of these. You've got 3 sitting around you and you're thinking of that one. Don't focus too much on that to lose focus or sight or use of the feelings, the stagnant water in the other 3, because those are the ones that are actually there for you to drink out of as you're pondering other things. Never a bad thing, never a bad thing. And your emotions. Oh, I wonder how this relationship could be better. I wonder how this relationship can grow. I wonder if I could have this, or I wish I could have that, or I wish he would do this, or I wish this could happen, or I wish that. Well, also remember to stir your chocolate milk and make sure there's not flies in your shit and that your water isn't evaporating. Just, that's all. That's all. Because you have options, and this is a great space to be in emotionally, which is kind of a cool thing. Doug, what kind of card do I get? I don't know. What kind of card do you get? I know. You don't know yet. The only difference is time. What? Or that I turn this card around. What is the difference, really? What is the difference? If I never tell you, you'd never know. Or would you? Doug. What I love about this card is it's a major arcana card. It's suggesting that you have all the resources you need. You know all the things you need to know. Damn, you got the skills. She got skills. Oh, bring it back. Do you remember that song? I think that was, oh, Sarah, go back. She's got skills. Was that All for One? She don't eat meat, but she show like the bone. That was not the same song. I think they might have played together on the radio at the same time. I don't know. We're going to figure it out later. I'll find it later. Million bonus points too if you post it in the chat. Doug, this is the magician. Man, a magician is great. But who the hell is Merlin out in the forest by himself? A magician is fantastic. But who is he naked walking around? Man, that's so sad that he died. I think he died, didn't he? Gosh, I hope I don't curse him. The man who played in A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. I mean, if you're that person, a comedian with no audience, a jester with no court, a magician, a David Copperfield with no audience, no TV to make you go to and like do this and be like, what? David Copperfield knew what I was picking? The wow factor comes in the observation theory. The wow factor comes in the double slit of the contemplation of choice. The fact that you can choose. that you must choose, that you will choose, that you just have to pick a name. But I don't know what name. It doesn't matter. Any name. Call my name. Say my name. The Magician. It's a reference to a connection to everything and how to use that connection. Duality, polarity, chemistry, positives, negatives, soluble, not soluble. How do they mix? A mix requires more than one variable. So being able to use that with an audience is really key right now. I hope that makes sense. I think it will. Meta, we do need to hang out. Krista, thank you so much. You're very welcome. Field guy Doug, you're the Tire King. Jackie, hello, hello. Do you have time to draw a card for me? Says Jackie. Yes, Jackie. Ooh, this is another knight, and this is one of the cards that I pulled when I first got this deck that made me buy it. It's the Knight of Cups, and this is a suggestion to a young knight, a masculine energy and impulsive energy in relationships, a growth and bonding, an impulsive growth and bonding. It is a soul connection, a twin flame connection, a fiery connection, a sense of purpose, and a sense of the prince and the princess, like a knight, a fairy tale, cups, the Moana and the grandma as she goes off to become the manta ray. This is definitely that Steve Irwin guide, Jackie coming through. And the Knight of Cups is a passionate, feminine type masculine energy, harnessed to do things with their heart. It's a very powerful, loving space. Katie, the Libra card, it's your birthday. Ooh, happy. Oh, September 27th. Yeah. Well, happy birthday then. Rachel, always needing guidance. Rachel, let us pull a card for you. Nadia says accurate. Rachel, what? How many knights are in this room? Whew, dang. I mean, I do love men. I do love masculine energy, but come on, we got them all here already, guys. And this is the Knight of Swords. Look, it's the Valkyrie. Man, the Knight of Swords. Who's the Knight of Swords? Like Jason Statham or like John Wick or like Assassin's Creed. The Knight of Swords is a masculine energy that knows what it's doing. Okay, this is Lancelot. This is awesome. The Falcon, Beastmaster growing up with his ferrets in his pocket and stuff. This is someone who, in Willow, if you're going to be going out and you have to go and deliver that baby, you want what's his face? You want the guy that is the town protector that knows what the fuck he's doing with the spear. And that is the Knight of Swords, which means if you're going to go into an argument or a conflict, whatever this masculine drive is, or this young, focused, sharpened, wielded energy is, whether it's with you or against you, be aware because it knows what it's doing. I would want to be with it, not against it. So use it. Pepper, I have a pear tree, Sarah, that the birds get to before I can. They sure do know when to pick them. Isn't that crazy? Doug says, oh my gosh, this affirms stuff from last night. Perfect. Matt said, you always throw a never-ending story. I know, it's a problem. It's not really a problem, but it's a problem for people who don't know the reference because then I sound crazy. Jackie says, thank you. You're very welcome. It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men. And there is many great men in the realm right now. I think, I look at my feed and I think about sometimes how I'm sending out posts, and right now my role models are predominantly men, which has not always been the case. But seeing some people stand up in spaces where they're able to communicate things well, they're able to interview well, they're able to use music well. I would say Aurora, Nezra Erog. There's certain people that I do find also as female role models, but they're very masculine in nature, which is kind of interesting. So that ability to use that and harness the service to others in a way that is not weak, but that is strong and courageous. That is, in essence, the man box or those gender roles and stereotypes. What is a good man? What is a great man? Or what do men, the everyman, if you're an alchemy, Wiccan, pagan alchemist, and who understands why are the gospel, why are the disciples, why are they all men? Um, why is it the men that get the last name? Like there's history behind it, a patriarchal energy versus a matriarchal energy. Um, there's power behind them, and it's not limited to testicles or vagina. It's how you harness the receiving energy or the assertive energy, and understanding those polarities, like in nature to the basic, like quantum level, just on every level. And it's really fun. And I think that everyone has their strengths. And right now, there's a lot of power to be wielded in the power dynamic and control dynamic, and for people to need to know what they know. And if they don't know anything, or if they're unsure of their feelings, they tend to just follow the leader. And people that are secure, they see that. And it can be both used and abused. So you have to know the intention of the people that you're around right now. It's very, very important. And so just knowing how to use that energy. And you guys, divination and tarot cards is just one way. And there are thousands, literally millions and thousands, literally millions and thousands. One way is Hello Panda to do it. So however you gather divine, oh no, I'll never know what I should have done. Oh well, I guess I'll do nothing. Um, is sharing it, writing it down, having the intention, knowing what it is that matters to you and that matters enough for you to write it down and share it, and knowing that you can choose, which is really powerful. It's really empowering. So I hope that this finds you well this Sunday. I hope you use the moon in Aries with that movement, how we shared in the beginning, to your benefit, and that you'll join me tonight when I do some spells and jewelry and things to get rid of in my witchcraft room. If you're into that sort of thing, sign up for notifications wherever you are, what platform. It'll be just like today and all the others that I do through StreamYard, which then launches on like 4 different YouTube channels, on 3 different Facebook channels, on a Twitter channel. It goes everywhere. But I'm going to be doing it tonight, probably around 9 o'clock after the children go to sleep. Fingers crossed. And if you know anyone that might be interested, just tag them below and we will see you then. All right, guys, have a great Sunday. Until next time. Doo-doo-doo.